In the world of film, there are certain movies that stand above the rest, casting their shadows over everything that comes after. Each week, we discuss these Keystone films and the copycats that they inspire. This season on Keystone Copycats, The Point Breakdown. Hello, and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host.
I don't know who is this Ira Glass. That's what you're doing over there.
This week on Keystone Copycats, Act 1, The Town.
Fuck. Like, I don't even know how to start over. What just happened is we recorded the intro, and it was going well. We recorded 3 minutes. And then he decided that he just wasn't going to record my side, just him.
No.
So, like, he's like, oh, fuck, let's start over. And I'm like, oh, we had a good rhythm. Here we are. I wanted to start off by yelling, fuck you.
So, of the two of us, I'm the one that always gives, like, the peek behind the curtain. And this time, I definitely was not going to say anything about it.
I know.
And you just dove in. Like, we just complete role reversal there.
Oh, that's why I paused. I'm like, I really shouldn't talk about it, but my mind is not going to get over this anytime soon. We had good banter.
That's right.
Fucked it up.
Yeah, man. That 3 minutes, we needed it. We're fucked now.
It was gold.
It's a bad episode.
We had jokes about children and Zach getting laid and dad jokes about going through doors.
I guess.
I mean, all those things happened.
Sure.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, wait, no. Do you want to yell at me about that?
Oh, hang on. Let's say welcome together. 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Fuck you. Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're doing... You want to say
How you doing, buddy?
Dude, so once again...
I said it already.
I know. Should we let the audience know?
No, I said it already in this time.
Okay.
I said it.
No, about the story, the background story about, hey there, buddy. How you doing so good?
Oh, no, I didn't even say it this time.
Huh. You said, hey there, buddy. That's the intro.
What I say.
I know. That's the intro.
This is gibberish. We are off the rails.
Nah, we're fine. It's probably under control.
Yeah. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, you look so good.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Now that we got that.
So when I realized that I wasn't recording you,
yep.
What you had literally just said was, let me tell you about something that happened last night. So if I could set you up, would you like to tell me about something that happened last night?
What the fuck happened last night?
I don't know. You never told me.
I finally... that's what it is. I finally locked down a dog. So my male dog needs a...
You got another dog?
Not... Well, almost.
Ah, is that why you were asking me about female dog names?
Yeah, I put a down payment down on it, which my sister said...
I
don't think that's what you say. And I was like, oh, well, I put $100 down for this dog.
You're paying more than $100 for a dog?
Yeah, it's a nice breed of dog.
You can get them for free.
Nah, I've been looking for like 2 months. I can't. Like I've applied for the adoption thing.
I can get you a dog. I can get you a dog by 3 p.m. today with nail polish.
With nail polish. No, because I need a specific dog for my dog.
Oh, because you want him to fuck?
No, I want him to go through the door. I used that tiny cat door.
Yeah.
I recycled it from my back door to my other back door.
You have a tiny dog.
He's getting fat.
He's a little
pepperoni. I know I'm not supposed to, but here's my thing. What else is he gonna do? He's just home all day by himself, which is one of the
What else is he gonna do? Not eat pepperoni?
Yeah, right.
I
don't get it. But what else is he gonna do right now? He doesn't have a companion. That's the whole reason I'm getting this other puppy, is that he has a buddy, a friend, a pal.
Sure, a lover.
So anyway, I got this. I put my retainer or my down payment down on this dog.
Retainer? He's not a lawyer.
Well,
he's not defending you.
It's getting dewormed and it's shot, and it's like a real dog thing.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Whatever. So
what kind of dog did you get?
A Jack Russell,
another Jack Russell. Sure.
Yeah, so to pair up with my long-haired rescue Jack Russell. So before you think I'm evil, I did rescue one. So one's a rescue, one's a purchase.
So your original dog, Johnny Toombs, named after your favorite character from your favorite movie from last season. I will say.
His name's Johnny Chance, but yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Tubes.
Yeah, he existed before I saw that movie.
Sure.
Okay.
That dog was like the tiniest dog I'd ever seen when you got him. It was like the size, like the length of like a sock, like a little like short like ankle sock.
That's the issue, is that I got him too early because he was kind of stripped away. It wasn't stripped away, like he was alone.
He wasn't
like,
a stripper.
He was away from his mom too young, and he had that what's it called, separation anxiety, whatever.
Yeah.
And like
that's what my daughter has right now.
He shouldn't have been away from his mom that young, so that's why he's got a little bit of issues.
Yeah,
but don't we all? So, yeah, he was tiny. He was tiny when I first got him because it was between me or death.
Yeah.
And I think we made the right choice. I'm not much better than death, but I'm okay.
Only time will tell.
I shouldn't have been a dog owner, and now that I'm like 1 year in with this dog,
What's funny is you had a dog for like 6 years.
A dog lived at my house.
That's fair.
That's the nicest way of saying
That's fair. You put a dog in a movie that we never released because it didn't work.
I didn't do anything for that dog. I'm going to admit that. My ex-wife did everything for that dog.
You made that dog a star.
All I did was sometimes like it.
It's more than I could have done.
Yeah. So anyway, so Johnny Chance is great.
Tunes.
So what I decided is that this new little puppy is fat and stubby, and she's got like really like strange eyes, like she's like squinty eyes.
I like that.
So it's because she's we're trying to figure out a name, and my sister pitched Pamela, and I'm like, no dog's ever been named Pamela. So instantly I'm like, Pamela, dog's name. Because it's going to be like a 1996 porno. It's Johnny and Pamela.
I think you should have.
Together at last.
I think you should have named the dog after a character from one of our movies.
No, that's what I'm getting back to, and what I wanted to say.
Oh, really?
Is I really wanted to name it, like almost offensively, someone close in my life. I pitched to my sister. I'm like, what if I named it Jake? And she's like, but it's a girl, and then that's my husband. I'm like, I know, that's why it's funny. Because I was like, oh, I could name it, Jake the girl dog or Zach the girl dog. And then I was like, how offensive would it be if I named her Lucy?
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? What's funny, though, is you texted me and asked, like, what a good name for a girl dog was. And I almost said Lucille after Lucille Bluth.
Yeah. No,
and then
Andy
I thought, ooh, what about Lucille 2?
I also said New Sammy. Like the name was New Sammy to replace my other dog.
And Sammy.
How mean that would be.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sammy's wearing sweaters now. Awesome. She's happy on her farm life.
She's on a farm?
I think she's on a farm. She's with an older couple, and she wears sweaters. Like, she loves it. Wearing sweaters. Big fat dog wearing
good
sweaters.
For her.
Good for her. Sammy with an eye.
Yeah, with an eye.
I did that intentionally.
Yeah, it's because you suck.
No, that's cool.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't care either.
Well, there you go. And if you out there have a thought on if it's cool or not, you can shoot us an email. I'm just telling.
To where?
KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com. We have an email address.
Email?
We do.
That's slick, dude.
You can also...
That's slick. We're working our way up with that Gmail account.
You can also call and leave us a voicemail.
If you can't find the Gmail account, you just log on to Google, and I'm telling you, it'll take you right to Gmail.
Look, you can also leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. You can leave us a voicemail. We can get voicemails.
Are you going to listen to them?
Yeah, maybe I'll play them on the show. Who knows?
Oh, I'm gonna send so many voicemails to you.
I'm gonna screen them, dummy.
I'm not gonna text you anymore. I'm just gonna send voicemails to that.
You suck.
That number.
You suck. You already have the number. I sent it to you so you could test it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
saved it in our podcast.
Yeah, that's our podcast phone.
I wonder if I'll remember it's ours. Anyway, do you want to get into this movie?
Let's get into this movie, The Town, from 2010, directed by Ben Affleck and starring Ben Affleck.
I did not know that he directed this until
he's really good in this. So also starring Rebecca Hall, Jon Hamm, Jeremy Renner, and Blake Lively, with some great performances from like Pete Postlethwaite and who's Chris. I didn't write him down. His dad.
I
didn't write it down. Right.
Yeah, I wrote Chris.
Yeah, Chris something. I'm sorry. Carter? No, I can't remember. But he's the guy from American Beauty.
He's
who falls in love with Kevin Spacey.
Spoiler. kills Kevin Spacey.
Oh, kills too, yeah.
Falls in love. No, he doesn't fall in love. He falls in lust.
He tries to have sex with him.
He falls in lust with him.
That's
yeah,
a good
I don't know
movie.
if you know this, Zach, but sometimes people have sex when they're not in love.
What?
I just broke the news about Santa to Zach.
All right, so yeah, that he's also the Tooth Fairy. I get it.
No, that he has sex out of wedlock.
With the Tooth Fairy. All right,
God,
so how about...
that got weird.
She's tiny. It doesn't work.
Oh, my God. It's getting fucking weird, bro. What's wrong with you?
Everything.
Okay.
So how about a little synopsis for this movie?
Yeah. A longtime thief planning his next job tries to balance his feelings for a bank manager connected to the earlier heist and a hell-bent FBI agent looking to bring him and his crew to justice.
Ooh, I like that.
It
Concise.
actually says bring him down. I couldn't read
I like that too.
But no, Jon Hamm in this movie, he's the FBI agent.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say Jon Hamm because I think his name's
Frawley.
whatever. It's Jon Hamm.
It's Jon Hamm.
It's evil Jon Hamm.
I'm going to call everybody by their names.
Now, this was the time when Mad Men was huge. So, and Jon Hamm's a great actor. I love him.
He's so good.
In
Bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids. God,
He's such an asshole.
Comic relief.
It's upsetting that he's so funny because he's so good looking.
No, I was going to say this character,
He gets the
because Don Draper can be funny. This character is not. Like, he's the epitome.
No,
of
he's not funny at all.
Gross FBI agent that no one likes.
Yeah.
And I did watch. I told you about this. I did buy the extended edition of this movie, which I've seen before, because it does add a little.
I'll be interested to hear like some of the stuff
backstory.
that's in there that isn't in the theatrical cut.
I do have a couple.
That's what I watched.
I do have a couple things I'm going to add in there because I think they are relevant, and they are in the Snyder cut of the. I'm sorry, the Affleck cut.
Yeah, Affleck cut.
The Affleck cut.
So,
but
hang on.
but Jon Hamm, like, yeah, even the outtakes, he gets worse. Like the outtake, like they have a lot more of him than anyone else. Of his character, and he's just awful. Like he and Claire go on a date. Like it's weird.
Oh,
it's weird.
That's strange. Okay, so let me. I have a theory. I'm gonna propose something to you. I think each of these movies that we do this season is either a Bodhi movie or a Utah movie. This is a Bodhi. There's no Utah. There is no Utah.
I saw Dog Through the Eyes of Utah. As far as the
I don't think that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. It was hard to do.
Yeah.
My comment last week about how this is the Palm Springs to Groundhog Day, I still stand by it, but I will say it ranked lower than I thought because some of the some parts in this that I would compare it to Point Break weren't the. Well, I mean,
they just cut some of them out. The break points?
Yeah, the break points.
We can say tropes still. Yeah. Like, that still makes sense.
I would like to not.
But we call them break points.
But yeah,
for this season.
I still think this is very comparable. But as far as its ranking goes, it didn't rank as high as I thought it was going to. But because, like, once again, look, we're not comparing chases, which this one has a big one, successful bank robberies or multiple bank robberies. The bank robbers being very, very efficient. Like, once again, like there's all these parts that aren't really comparable to to the point breaks or to the break points.
The break points, yeah, they don't line up with our break points.
Yeah. But still great. Still great.
So, yeah, but the way I look at it is like. This movie, and I'm going to say this, like, I've got a lot to talk about, but I have very few notes. I did not take a lot of notes in this movie.
Gotcha. I'm going to, I'll allow this. I'll allow the separation of Utah and Bodhi.
I mean, that's just how I'm
going at them. But I don't know if I'm going to stand by that every time.
No, you don't have to. That's just how I'm going by it. But so I'll say this. I feel like this movie, it feels like they stripped out all of the, like, over-the-top silliness of Point Break and made it like this is like a dead serious.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
To the point where you don't have the rookie agent. Yeah. You don't which is getting us into break points, which we can.
The issue I have is that the lead protagonist is the bad guy. Yeah. But the agent getting him is a he's not crooked, but he's an asshole.
No, he's just a dick.
It's really hard to say, okay, this is Bodhi. Yeah. Because really, I'm like, no, this is kind of Utah too, because he's a good guy in a bad in his own bad situation.
But the thing of it is, like,
outgrow
that's
what he's
the
done.
beauty of Bodhi is that he is
the good guy, bad guy.
But he's the villain. But what's he doing? He's robbing banks. No. He's not a serial killer. It's whatever. Like, we all appreciate the Robin Hood aspect of it, and we all appreciate that, like, bad boy, like. Eventually, yeah, but not like,
And Affleck is not a killer,
and he loses control for sure,
and he kills bad guys. Because Bodhi kills that cop.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I don't know. I'm just saying it's open for debate on this particular one. If we had already decided, okay, it's you're the doing Bodhi or Utah,
that's just the way
this one comes along, I would still go, okay, I didn't choose one in this.
No, I say still do it whichever way you want to do it. Like I'm okay with that because this is just the way that I'm like looking at this one.
Mr. 51%.
It's a lot more.
Stop it. Don't do this again, Patty. All right, let's jump into this fucking opening. And I am going to do the little, what is the passage before the movie starts?
Oh, the cold open stuff?
Yeah, they're kind of talking about people in Charlestown, which is
great.
Place in Massachusetts. And
this is another comparison to Point Break that doesn't fit with the breakpoints.
This is supposedly a real location, by the way, too, where these things happen. This isn't based on a true story, obviously, but these things...
It's based on a novel.
Yeah, these things do happen in this area. Like
so
high crime, bank robbery.
Before you read the thing, I'll say like the thing that compares to
Before I read the thing, you're
Point Break.
Do the thing.
No, I'm gonna say like the part that I thought it compared really well to Point Break, which is in the opening, not the opening scene, but in the first scene at the FBI with Dr. Cox talking to Utah. He tells him L.A. is the bank robbery capital of the world, which is like, oh, that's cool. Like, so that's the location where it's like, oh, you see that there's like this high like crime rate. It's like the show, you know. It's like going from playing high school baseball to playing for the Yankees, you know.
Yeah.
Which I had to say the Yankees just to like offend the like Boston sensibility of this movie, even though I dislike the Yankees. So yeah, go ahead.
So the opening, it's like an opening slug line. It says, "Bank robbery." I'm sorry, I wrote way too small. Bank robbery became like a trade in Charlestown, passed down from father to son, and it's quoted from like an FBI federal agent in bank robbery division or whatever it is. So like, there's two openings like that, and another one was Charleston ruined my life, but I love it. Yeah, like just for like a local.
So I thought you were going from the. I thought you were going from the quote of Charlestown has more bank robbers.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
Than anywhere else
as well,
but like
this is immediately after.
I thought that's what you were going with. I mean, but which compares to the LA one.
Same parts.
Yeah. It is. You know,
the intro of Charlestown just being
it's rough.
Yeah, crime ridden.
Well.
That's the end.
We did it.
Goodbye. So I love the very opening. The first person you hear is Doug, which is Ben Affleck, and obviously they're about to rob a bank, and you just see right away that he's supposed to be the authority.
He's the leader of the group.
They're very
Sure.
precise. They're overviewing the two guys in the bread. I love bread truck, by the way. That name.
I love that they call the Brinks truck or whatever the armored truck.
The armored vehicle. He's
so
discussing the two drivers. So basically, he has his plan down. He's telling the crew of the four of them, his other three guys. He's telling the names of the two drivers, their ages, past work experience, how much money they make, what kind of guns they have, their height, their weight. Like, he knows everything about it. So they're very sophisticated as far as the approach. Like, there's no, hey, let's just go in kind of, I got a gun, let's just hope this works. They're very precise in their application, and it's a lot like the first time we see the ex-presidents?
Yeah,
the ex-presidents, when they go in because they separate the dye packs. Everyone has
That's what I made a note.
job.
Like, I love how quickly they find the dye pack, when he like flips through the bundle of money, sees it, and tosses it. Like,
yeah, exactly. And they actually put it and these guys, the difference is they do hit the vault.
Yeah.
They do hit the vault. That's important in a second. But they separate it and they put it in the vault as a fuck you. Yeah. Like, they actually stash it, like, where one of the guys is the guy that runs like their surveillance, or takes care of the cameras, and they pull I don't know what they are, hard drives from the surveillance, put them in the microwave like in Dark Knight, and I don't know if they did that in Dark Knight, but they do pull them.
Yeah, they pull them. I don't think they microwave them.
I thought they put them in the microwave, but so he puts them in the microwave, puts it on for 15 minutes, because I did look up how long you would take to destroy this. I was like, oh, he put it on for 15 minutes, and they just start popping, obviously. So everyone has a specific job. One of the guys is McGlone. I love that name. McGlone is the driver. Dez is the guy that does surveillance and taps into the junction.
He does the tech stuff. He works for Vericom, which is the boxes that they like get into to like trip the system or whatever.
Yeah, and then I'm not really sure, but Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner's characters, they almost do like quality control or customer. What would it be? Quality control?
Renner's the muscle, and Affleck is the brains.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I'm just saying, but they're kind of interchangeable as far as what they do in there. Like they're the ones that are giving instructions.
Yeah, they're running it.
Renner's more the wild dog.
So
he's very unstable.
Which brings up
I was gonna say unpredictable, but he's not. He's very predictable that he wants violence.
Yeah, which brings us to a break point that I'd like to discuss. Number 2.
Yep.
Which you aptly named Wildcat.
It's funny that I said that.
So Pappas, the wacky partner / character, and I have a note of this that like Jeremy Renner is the Pappas, but like I said, they took out all the silliness. So he is just unhinged, and he's just like a wild card, a guy you can't like trust to like be cool about it, you know?
Yeah.
He's the reason they take the hostage. Like he's the reason they do things that they don't normally do, which inevitably, like in the end, brings them down, you know?
Yeah, if you... Yeah, it does say Wildcat, too, and I just said Wildcat. That was unintentional. But if you were going to apply a Pappas character, you are right. It would be a Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, that's why I said yes to the
I
Pappas.
say no because, yes, that would be him, but there's not enough... There's not enough for the Pappas character. Now, I understand he holds a lot of weight.
He's a loose cannon.
I just don't see him as a Pappas.
So I did look at this a little differently. There's another break point that we'll get to later that I looked at the reverse way, and I was like, it works because it's a reversal, like because it's a Bodhi movie for me. So it works as a reversal. Okay. Which we'll get into.
These breakpoints were not simple. I would say, like, each one, I'm besides...
They're complex.
Besides Mass, which, let's get out of the way. Yeah, Mass.
Yeah, somebody stop me.
Somebody that's named...
That's the name of the breakpoint.
But yes, most of these are... We're going to have a discussion.
Yeah. So the trope number 1, we can talk about... We can get it right out of the way. Young, dumb, and full of cum. There is no rookie agent.
There is no rookie cop.
Because we don't have a Utah.
There's no real rookie anyone.
Yeah, we don't have a Utah, so there's no real, you know.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I'll say, and this is in the outtakes with Jon Hamm.
Oh, sure.
When he goes, and I wish I actually.
He goes, "This is my first job."
No, he goes. Well, all the old crew is gone. We must have a new crew in town. Now, once again, because when Ben lists off what he's done a decent amount for the average person, but not
6 trucks, two banks.
Yeah, not like a ton like he does this once a month kind of thing.
No, but it's but he's young enough that like
So and Dez is the youngest one. He's only like 20 something, 22 years old or whatever. So they're all around mid-30s ish, except for Dez. But yeah, like he does make a point, and this is under the Snyder cut, so it's credible.
A lot of talk about the Snyder cut for 3 months from now when people are hearing this and no one gives a fuck about it.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie. Yeah, Justice League is a bad movie.
I like that's something else.
No matter what cut you watch, it's a bad movie.
So the Affleck cut.
Fuck you, Warner Brothers.
He does say, "Oh, it must be a new crew in town." So that's the only thing I'll say to a rookie anything. But it's
let me ask you this: is that technically a director's cut, or is it just like an extended cut?
Extended.
Okay.
I believe it did say extended cut.
Okay, I'm just checking. When you
said
Affleck cut,
they all heard you.
I'm just checking.
All you're doing is creeping me out specifically, and thank you for that. Okay. I always like being harassed.
You're so welcome.
So in the scene, obviously everyone has their own jobs. Back to the bank. Everyone has their own jobs, and that's where we meet the crew. The crew and the Claire character. And what happens is Claire is the assistant bank manager, and they're going for the vault, and it opens up at 8:45, and it goes, "When's the vault open?" She goes, 9. He says, "It's 8:45. Don't lie to us again." And they have assault rifles, so they're very intimidating. Everyone's on the ground, and Jeremy Renner, she's trembling. She's trying to open the safe at 8:45 on the nose, so she has like 1 minute to do it. And Jeremy Renner's getting upset, and he has the bank teller, or the bank manager on the ground, and he's got a gun to his head. He goes, "Is this a friend of yours?" As in, like, this guy's going to kill him. Like, we can see that Jeremy Renner, and what's his character's name?
Jem.
Yeah, that's right, Jem, J-I-M or J-E-M, whichever one you prefer.
Sure.
So Jem's going to kill him. And she's really nervous. So we see that Ben Affleck is still a decent human being because he stops her hand, pulls it away, and you kind of think, okay. And also, obviously, they're wearing masks, so we don't know who's who yet. But he pulls her hand away and goes, take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. So he comforts her because, number one, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and this
Two,
is...
he wants the fucking money, and he knows if she's panicking, it's not going to work.
So this is a classic, like, cinema trope, though. Like, Renner demonstrates, like, the opposite of Affleck, where he's the wild card. He's, like, big and loud.
He's trying to be intimidating.
He's using threats and fear to, like, get what he wants and to control the crowd. Affleck, this is his save the cat moment where he says...
Use trust.
It's okay. Like, we're not going to hurt you. Just go ahead. Like, it's
good cop, bad
right
cop.
from the jump. It's distinguishing their characters from each other. Like, they're both criminals. They're both bank robbers, but they are not the same. Even if they come from the same place, which, like, you know, Jem points out later at that graveyard scene where they get into a fight. You know, they grew up in the same place and they come from the same background.
Since the age of 9, they've been brothers. They're not blood, but they're brothers. Ben Affleck lived in Jeremy Renner's house, like was raised by their family, dated his sister. Like they're very much connected. But yeah, complete. I wouldn't say complete opposites, but pretty opposite.
Just as a side note, how much do you hate that the daughter is named Shine?
I just didn't consider it at all. You're like, whatever.
I've always hated that.
You didn't know any
Maybe
better,
that's what your dog should be named.
Shine.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
What?
I don't know why I just said Shiloh.
Like teen novel about a dead dog.
Oh yeah, the dog died. The dogs.
I don't know. I never read it.
They always die in older books.
I never read it. It's just like time loop movies with all the dead parents.
I just remember him giving them cheese.
I do not.
Spoiler: dogs love cheese.
Now, if you want to talk about Hatchet, I can get into that. I know Hatchet or the K. I know the K.
Or Indian in the Cupboard.
Indian in the Cupboard is great. Those books are so good.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's go back.
Next season on Keystone Copycats, Indian in the Cupboard. Anyhow,
let's go back to the. I always said book. Let's go back to the bank.
Yeah, let's get back to Hatchet.
So as they get in the vault, they take the money. As they're leaving, Claire trips the silent alarm, and Jem thinks it's the bank manager on the ground. He says, "No, we didn't do anything."
Yeah, the guy from Alias.
He takes the butt of his gun and just smashes his head in. And what we find out in the extended cut is that he loses half his eyesight. Ooh. Like he fucks him up. Like that seems real quick where he messes him up, but you find out later like that guy's.
He did some real damage. I mean, he beat him with the butt of his gun. Like it was bad.
Yeah, he definitely was trying to kill him.
Yeah, and then like you definitely see like from the reaction after that, like from Ben Affleck's reaction to that when he's talking about when he's talking to Jeremy Renner about it, he's like, you know, like you're going crazy, you can't do this, like you.
Well, he's also on probation. Like he just served 9 years for manslaughter.
He's got 2 strikes against him. Yeah, they're gonna bury him under the prison.
Yeah, that's what he says. So anyway, before we leave the bank. Before we get into that, Claire does see the Fighting Irish tattoo on the back of Jem's neck, which is important.
Which is, a great mirror to the part where, like, the guy shows his butt in Point Break, and then Utah sees it on the surfboard and puts it together.
Because like that tattoo was so pristine because he puts sex wax all over it every day.
That's right.
To really get it to shine.
He also rubs it down with 2 meatball subs.
So yeah, afterwards,
Dougie,
the whole crew,
give me 2.
So they take Claire hostage and kind of drop her off in the water and just tell her, they blindfold her, tell her to walk to her feet at water, and she said she thought they were like she was gonna die.
She thought she was gonna walk off a cliff.
So and that's all because of Jem, and even the crew is like, what are we doing, taking hostages now? Like
they're we don't do this. It's not clean. It's not like it causes more problems than it solves.
Let's just jump into the Jem character and a little more and say he's unhinged. He does, as we find out in the movie, like he doesn't care. He just wants to do blow. He wants to get fucked up, and he makes a joke. You just want all you ever want to do. All you care about is Coke and Xbox. Like all he wants to do is live this life, where he's constantly trying to get another job. He loves the adrenaline. He loves being this power situation where he's in charge of people. He's a violent person. He's an addict, and he wants everything to go his
way. And
he wants to be the name of the town.
He's a guy who gets his way and will react violently when he doesn't in order to get it.
Even to Ben Affleck, which they get in a scuffle later, and he pistol whips him. He's losing, so he pistol whips his best friend.
He does what he has to do to win.
Yeah. So after that, we see Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm comes in, and he's got this stupid line where the crew they quote unquote boosted the city work van, so they burn it after they're done and use the switch car, and Jon Hamm comes in and goes, oh, they boosted the city. I'm sorry, Dino says they boosted the city work van, and he goes, obviously they haven't found out about the work van yet. And Jon Hamm comes in and goes, probably too busy working. And you're like, ooh, why the fuck did you say that? And that's just the start of his
Hasn't been reported
character.
Stolen yet. Yeah.
Yeah, like, probably too busy working.
I don't think he said it like that.
That was weird. Yeah, it was just the line itself.
Working.
When you're not in the moment, I had to embellish a little bit.
Got to sound like gasoline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So here's the other part. So he comes into the vault and finds the die packs, the money with the die packs. And I don't know anything about die packs, how sensitive they are, but he picks it up and kind of leaves through it. He's like, found the die packs. I feel like if I did that, it would explode on me.
Sure would.
Like, here's the thing. If you can handle it like that, like when do they explode? When you take off the tape?
I think they trigger them or whatever. I don't know.
No. In every well, this is also Hollywood logic.
What
in
if die
movie,
packs don't actually exist?
They just like birds.
So my wife not like birds, you fucking QAnon piece of shit.
For the record, I am not a QAnon piece of shit. I need everyone to know.
So
this.
my wife told me as we were watching this movie last night, she told me that one of her very good friends was once involved in a bank robbery, and she got a bonus.
Side?
Oh, the end of the story will tell you that.
Okay.
And she got a bonus because she threw a die pack into the bag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I know they are
that
real
much,
now.
But yeah, sure.
Good for her. I like her, so it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. But no, I just feel that like if I looked at a die pack, it would explode on me. That's what I've learned from
life,
from movies,
from your life,
from my life too. Yeah, I couldn't touch it like they do.
No.
So when they're interviewing Claire, like afterwards, her hand's trembling and she's clearly shocked. Jon Hamm is just an asshole. Like, he's very suspicious of her.
I really like when she's like, do I need a lawyer? And he's like, people who lawyer up are guilty.
Yeah, no, he's like, this isn't civil libertarian of me to say, but anyone who lawyers up is guilty. You're going to be okay. Which really, you're like, oh no, he's not trying to be nice. He's a dick.
But
he doesn't want to deal with the lawyer.
It does set up the great line later when he's like, maybe I was wrong. I think you do need a lawyer. And I was like, oh, shit.
So
got her
the whole time, and he's just like, "Did you try to get away?" And she goes, "No." And he asks another question, and she goes back and goes, "I didn't try to get away because they had guns." He goes, "Oh, I understand." Like, he doesn't believe you.
No, he's just, and it doesn't matter if he did believe you. That's just his like manner is like such that I would not feel comforted by him.
Yeah, no, he has no bedside manner.
No.
And then there's another one where he's like, and then they just let you go, huh? It's just like, and she says. He goes, did they say anything else? She goes, yeah. They said if I talk to the FBI, they're going to come to my house, rape me, and kill me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, like that's pretty severe, dude. It's
pretty good reason to not talk to the FBI.
Yeah, like that's what they let her go, but she's in panic. So
yeah, she's got some PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah, which she does kind of carry because you see later in the laundromat, it's like she has flashbacks when she sees the blood. Yeah. So yeah, she's pretty disturbed. By the situation, which makes it even worse because then they find out that she lives like 4 blocks away from all of them, and they don't want to be. There's no reason that she would notice them because they were wearing masks and all covered up. Yeah. But Jem is very suspicious of it and wants to kill her.
Yeah, he took her driver's license so they could like follow up with her.
So he basically wants to offer. He wants to kill her and
he wants to take care of her.
So Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck wants to take care of her.
Yeah. So he's the one who goes, no, I'll take care of it. So he kind of follows her, and then they inadvertently, she asks him for quarters in a laundromat when he's just kind of watching her, making sure she's not going to do anything crazy or if she's talking to the FBI. And then they have a little exchange, and it's kind of flirtatious a bit, and she starts crying because it was such flirtatious, so she starts crying. But she starts crying, then they start flirting. And Ben Affleck's like, hey, let me get buy you a cup of coffee.
I really liked his joke about like, yeah, I have a good cry in the nail salon.
Yeah,
like that was really funny.
He's a hardened dude too.
He's
like,
a tough guy, so it's like he can pull that off.
He doesn't laugh a lot. He's very stern. He
has a lot of smirks.
Let's do a little back on him. Like he's in recovery. He was going to go to the NFL. Yeah, he was going to go to the NHL.
He got drafted
twice. And he fucks it up because he was addicted to Oxycontin and pain pills and stuff, and then he got into bank robbery or whatever when he washed out.
As you do.
And he got he was violent, like he attacked one of his own players and got kicked off the team.
Yeah.
So he's now sober. We don't ever hear a backstory to how this happened, but he is going through sobriety where all these other guys are addicts.
They're still partying. They're living that life that he's
every single person
out of
that he knows. So he's the only sober one, and they make fun of him for it. And he goes to an AA meeting. So you can see he's trying to get his shit on track, and I'm sure that the Claire is it's different because he only knows these shitty people in the town.
So, and it's really like his life is balanced like on the edge of the knife. You know, it just needed that one tiny push to get him to leave the life of crime behind. Like he's already gotten sober, cleaned up, and learned like some lessons from him blowing his biggest chance to get out of the town. Yeah. So like. That one, like meeting her and like realizing that there's like he could be with someone better, with someone who's like, not a drug addict, that he could get out of Charlestown and like get out of this life is like enough for him to say like, I'm getting out, like I'm not doing this.
And it does seem like it's just a flicker of a moment in his head when he just decides, oh, let's go get a cup of coffee. Like it doesn't seem preemptive at all.
No.
That this was going to happen. He
says, let me buy you a drink.
He's kind of charmed by it, and all of a sudden he's like, oh no, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Because whether it's in the back of his mind or not, it wasn't planned for him to ask her out.
Yeah, and even if it's like he had that like there was a little bit of a connection from the bank robbery when he was like kind to her, even though he was like robbing them, like it could be like a holdover from that.
Let's do break point three.
Break point number 3.
Yep.
What's break point number 3?
Utah falls for a girl in the gang.
I say yes.
Yes.
It's a Bodhi movie, so it's a reverse. He falls for the victim. Like, it makes sense. She's connected to the other side, which is the FBI.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. It's just the reverse. Mirror image.
I said yes, but I kind of cheated. I went with, because Chris, who's in the gang, in the clique, it's Jem's sister. He dated her for a long time, and they may or may not have that kid together. But
he doesn't fall for her.
No,
I'm not arguing against.
He did fall for her, and he does hook up with her in the beginning of this.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against like.
That's just the only That's the only person that gives him any kind of compassion, I guess. So like, it's still like he fell for her at one point, but she's in the gang. So either way, it's a yes.
I'll take it. However you get there is fine by me.
Yeah.
Let me look at these. Let's knock out a couple of these break points real quick. Number 4.
Why didn't you say Bad Boys?
Because I wanted to say break points.
But they are bad boys.
I want to hammer it home. They are bad boys.
Can we talk about something serious right now? Are these bad boys?
Well, they're not good boys. They're not getting any belly scratches. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Zachary. No, I did the laugh already. You don't get to do it.
So, number 4, Adrenaline Junkies. I say no.
No.
There's nothing to it.
No.
Number 5.
Yes, they're adrenaline junkies, but not in the way.
But not really.
Not in the way that ex-presidents are.
No, they're not. They're junkies, but they're not adrenaline junkies.
Exactly.
Number 5, frenemies.
No.
There's no Utah relationship for him to have, so no frenemies.
Because they weren't given the chance.
Number 6, the 50-year storm. The one thing that will help Utah catch Bodhi.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Yes. Seeing Claire. They set it up because the one thing they know what's going to happen is that he's going to come back and talk to Claire. So they rig up her apartment with the microphones and all the FBI's there. Like, yes, that's the 50-year storm. They try.
No, but the thing about it is the 50-year storm is a trap that works. He can't resist it. He resists it. He doesn't go to her. He doesn't show up at the apartment.
Okay, but stay with me.
I'm with
is
you.
Important with a trope. With a breakpoint later. But no, I still say yes for the 50-year storm, and you'll understand later.
I see.
Yep.
Do you want to keep going with the tropes, with the breakpoints, or no?
We can take a break for a second.
A breakpoint?
Or unless you want to do number 10, that's attributed.
Number
to
10.
Number 5.
No, number 7.
No, I know, but in order for us to keep going, I would do 10, but I don't want to do the other ones yet.
Oh, I don't want to do 10.
I think then we can take a break.
10 has to happen at the end because we don't know until the end.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said pause.
Do you want to pause?
You can fucking listen to me.
Do you want to
have my
my pause?
You have
break
what are
points.
they called? Earmuffs?
Points.
Head muffs.
Eye muffs.
You have gear on.
I have eye muffs.
Things to listen to me, and yet you don't, sir.
So
I'm just gonna smile at you for a while until you learn your lesson.
So my next note is that the second heist is like the high point of this movie. It's so cool. The nun outfits. It's all the style. Everything about it is so fucking cool.
This point, which is maybe halfway, is like the 3/4 point in Point Break with that fucking chase. That big chase.
Yeah. This
Get
is where
to the fucking switch.
And this is where I mean, we hit another break point right away. This is where the heist goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because it does.
Yeah, I was gonna leave it for the end, but sure, it's still correct.
Yeah, heist goes wrong. Absolutely, heist goes wrong. So what's funny?
Let's just get the trips over. There's only 2 more.
What's funny is the heist goes wrong on the second heist, and then they still do a third heist that goes wrong.
And then because of I said Jeremy Irons, because of Scar. Scar comes in and fucks it up. No, because of Jem. Because Jem refuses to back down. Well, yeah.
Because she gives away, but
Jem refuses to lay low because he's so addicted to this lifestyle. And one of the big things is like he's like suicidal. He
does say I can't go back in prison.
He says I'm not going back to prison, but yet he won't put on the brakes. Like he's just a lunatic.
No, he's gonna live his life the way he wants to live it, and whether that means he shortens it by 30 years, like that's okay with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was number 9. We did 8 already. Somebody stop me.
So let's do 7.
So number 7, the Bodhisattva, a spiritual perspective on their way of life. I said no.
I say yes.
All right, let's hear it
twice.
Ooh.
Because of the Irish Omerta, the whole town has this. I wouldn't say spiritual, but has this belief system of you don't rat.
That's interesting.
This is the town. This is who you are. This is what you are. That's why they have so much animosity to the detective Dino, who
because he was a rat
and then went to the FBI because he took all their tricks and taught them, and that's why he's so that's why. And this is a slur, but I'm gonna say what they call him, Dino the Dego, which basically means just like it's an offensive term. I think it's a Sicilian or Italian term. It's a slur for Dino.
It is,
and they all think he's like there's no remorse for it.
Who came from Charlestown?
So yes, there is that belief system of. This is the town. You don't do anything. That's why once again, the extended cut, they go through, okay, let's do the pointless thing of asking around. And they kind of go around to people and they're like, they're watching the car on fire. Did anyone see anything? And they're all just shaking their head, no. They're watching a car burn and they're like, no. He goes, this is pointless. No one's ever going to talk. So there's that. And also the spiritual, spiritualism is the sobriety, I think. I think there is like a recovery. So there's a sense of something bigger.
There's that for sure.
There's a sense of something bigger amongst all these people that are just getting fucked up. Like the whole town is just. I'm giving
it to you on the first one. The silence, the no ratting. You turned me on it. You're right. And it's I guess I was hung up on the spiritual nature of it, but like no, that it is that they have like that code that they live by, you know?
Well, and just real fast, this is the weaker argument, but I think the sobriety, because once again, the whole if everyone there is just getting fucked up all the time, then much like Bodhi, who's the only one that gets the spirituality of the ocean, he sees something bigger than what everyone else is.
Yeah. So we've only got one trope left, and that's Vaya con Dios. Utah lets Bodhi get away. There is no Utah. He can't let Bodhi get away. Doesn't happen.
This is the hardest one.
I bet you said yes because you looked at Rebecca Hall as Utah letting Bodhi get away by tipping him off to the police at the end.
Yes, I'm going. Yes,
I get it.
Doug, and also Doug lets her go. He isn't selfish. He knows that happens. He lets her go because he number one, he doesn't want to get caught, but he knows that she'll probably be better without him. That he needs to do a fresh start.
Do you? I know I talk about this movie a lot.
They let each other go.
I know I talk about this movie a lot, but did you get like a Shawshank vibe from that ending? Like him reading like the voiceover letter and like down in Miami and it's all, I'll see you again in this life or the next. This side of the next. Yeah, that's what it is.
This side or the other, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's, it's good. Like, I liked it.
This is just a wonderful movie. And
it's a really fun movie.
One thing I want to go back to, we jumped over, and obviously that's the end of the trip, so we were at the end of the movie, so we're going to have to backtrack some.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is the Fergie character
who we haven't talked about yet.
By Pete Postlethwaite?
Postlethwaite.
Okay, I'm not going to say it again.
Postlethwaite.
So Fergie, like, there's this autocracy amongst the robbers where everyone has to go through this veteran drug dealer pusher kind of character or whatever. We're not even sure what he is, but he's
a boss. He's a boss.
He's the boss where you have to go through for anything. Like, he takes his vig, as it were, for everything. And even Ben Affleck's character says, why do we have to keep doing this? And Jem's like, oh, he's not that bad. Instead of being like, oh, that makes sense. Why are we paying this guy? It's like, yeah, that's just what you do.
It's what you do. And that's the thing. That's the big difference between like Doug and Jem is that they have that different worldview where like Doug is like, yeah, why are we doing this? I want to know, like, this is bullshit. Why are we giving this guy our money? Why are we like bowing down to him? Why is this? And Jem's like, it's just what we do. Like, why wouldn't we do it?
There's
tradition,
Yeah, there's actually, you know what? Load the clip. This is probably a good place to do it.
So this season, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a comparison to Point Break in acting. So you wanna break down how you came at this a little bit?
Yeah. So this is a little bit forward for the Fergie character. Basically, what happens is I'm doing the comparison to Ben Affleck to Johnny Utah, in that this is where they're holding Claire hostage, much like they were holding Tyler hostage to Johnny Utah. So this is a big thing where Doug never liked Fergie for some underlying reason. This is kind of where you find out why. Yeah. And there's a little bit of a back and forth where Ben Affleck is trying to leave. He's like, I'm not doing any more fucking jobs for you. I'm going to give you 10 grand or 40 grand,
whatever it is.
And like, I'm going to get the fuck out of town. And Fergie's like, the fuck you are. And this is where he finally tells Ben Affleck about his mother, his father, and all this shit. So this is the clip. It's a little long. It's like 2 minutes long, but you really get the interaction, and this is where he finally threatens Ben Affleck to do the final job that goes awry.
Yeah, so every episode this season we'll have a comparison to either Utah or Bodhi in our lead actor. Mm-hmm. So whichever works for it, we'll do a comparison.
So this is the hostage style situation he gets into.
Not going to cut it. Do you think I'm going to put Joe Flipperhead on this? You're going to do what I ask.
Cut it, huh? Okay. Let me ask you something. Who the fuck do you think you are? The only guy in Charlestown with a gun? You guys run numbers and pump dope. You're an old guy with a fucked up face who don't know his glory years are behind him. I ain't fucking working for you. Got it? You got a problem with that? I live at 551 Bunker Hill Street. Stop by any time. You know where to find me.
You're going to do this for me, or I'm going to clip your nuts. Like I clip your daddy's.
Don't talk about my father.
Son, I knew your daddy. He worked for me for years. Years. Then he wanted his own thing. Play the horses. You know, they either geld the horse with a knife or with the chemicals. And your daddy said no to me. I did him the chemical way. Gave your mother a taste. Put the hook into her. She doped up good and proper. Hung herself with a wire on Melnair cast. And you, running around the neighborhood looking for her. Your daddy didn't have the heart to tell his son that he was looking for a suicide doper who was never coming home. If there's a heaven, son, she ain't in it.
This is where they go for the guns.
Oh. I hear you got a nice, sweet new girlfriend. Lives on the park. I don't want to send her a funeral arrangement to your house. But I will if I have to.
He's a florist.
Now I know where to find you.
Now I know where to find you. Yeah.
Badass.
That's so good. You're an old guy with a fucked up face.
Think you're the only guy in Charlestown with a gun? I love that.
Yeah, that's a bit long, but yeah, that was so impactful for when you're watching.
It's such a great scene.
Because it goes from Ben Affleck being the dominant, he's standing up over him, he's the dominant force over the two guys.
I live at 551 Bunker Hill. You know where to find me.
And then it flips around to, oh yeah, we know about your girl. You're fucking doing what we say, just like he did to his father. Like, it's fucked up. So that's when he realizes to respect Fergie, because he's also a psychopath.
Yeah, yeah.
And they actually do later on, like, put, like, when he's deciding what he's going to do, they put a wreath of flowers on Claire's gate as Ben Affleck's walking
as a
by
threat, so he can see, like, yep, we know where she lives. We're keeping an eye on her. So, and that leads us to the heist falls apart. The second heist, it goes wrong. Affleck and Renner get into it at the house, and he says, "I'm not doing anymore. I'm done."
Outside of the cemetery.
Or no, you're right. That was before the second heist that they got into it at the house.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right.
So he does the second heist. He didn't want to. It goes wrong.
Oh.
Then he comes to him meets him at the cemetery where he killed the guy 9 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, so real fast. Some guy was going to come kill Ben Affleck, we'll just say in high school.
That's what it seemed like.
He was going to come up and kill him in high school. Jem found out about it, went over and killed the guy first and got 9 years manslaughter, and he didn't even tell him why. He said, "I didn't like the kid." So he never told anyone why he did it, and Ben Affleck found out right then that Jem killed him for Ben Affleck.
I'm sure he knew from the beginning.
Well,
I'm sure Affleck knew, but
it's kind of led like he might not, but...
So, no, but that's why he owes him so much. That's why he said, like, "I owe you. I appreciate everything you've done for me." He always said that. So that's what they meet up. Renner's like, "Hey, Fergie's got a job for us, blah, 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 all this stuff." And Affleck's like, "I'm out. I'm not doing it." And so that's what leads to this scene. Like, he gets into a fight with Jeremy Renner, like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this." But then he goes to see Fergie and to try to pay him off and say, like, "Hey, I'm not doing it." So then that scene sets it up that he's like, "No, you're doing it." Like the whole thing where he's like, I wouldn't hire them without you, just like I wouldn't hire you without them. You're a package, like the team.
And really, it's just something for Fergie to exploit. He doesn't give a fuck about any of these.
No,
guys.
not at all.
It's he's gonna self-image.
And he wants them to rob Fenway for what, $3.12 million?
Yeah, something around $3 million.
Which this scene, and I said earlier, like the second heist is like the height of this movie. Fenway just as much is. It's badass.
Yeah. So
it's so good.
What happens is they go in. They actually get in pretty easy. And the same thing where
it's a good plan.
They know the guards. What they say, we have men outside your like. Here's your wife's name. We
Linda,
know where you live.
And Linda.
We have men outside your house going to kill your wives if you don't open the safe. The room with all the money.
Yeah, they say don't call for help. The Lindas want you to not call for help.
Some good quotes. But they go in as they look like ambulance. I said ambulance workers.
No, they go in dressed as cops.
They go and dress as cops. Then they switch over to EMTs when they find out Chris rats on to save her daughter and save
Blake Lively.
Yeah, Chris rats to Jon Hamm. So Jon Hamm they're all ready. The FBI is all outside at SWAT. They're ready to bust these guys. They go in. They dress up as EMTs. Then quickly they get in a firefight. They switch back to cops. Jeremy and Jem
and Doug
and Ben Affleck go dress back up as cops. They go separate ways. In this exchange, Desi gets shot in the head by SWAT. McGlone tries to drive out, and he literally goes,
distract him.
Yeah, to distract him. He's gonna get arrested.
I can take a pinch.
He's gonna get arrested. He literally is gonna go to jail for life for his friends. He goes out and gets shot. So they kill him.
Well, he gets shot, but also he wrecks the ambulance into like an armored car. So like
Well,
both.
He did. Yeah. He was trying to lead away. He didn't intend to die.
Yeah, for sure.
But almost like that's
hard to say.
That's more credible because he does say, "I can take a pinch." Like he's going to go to jail for his buddies. Right. That's still intense. So yeah, they escape, and then Jon Hamm catches Kaufman running off with a money bag, and Kaufman turns around with a semi-automatic, tries to kill him, and then everyone's after him. And
that scene where he's chasing Jon Hamm around the car is like, oh my God.
He's got this giant sack of money, and he's running around the car with a semi-automatic just spraying at Jon Hamm, trying to fucking.
And Jon Hamm is like scrabbling around trying to avoid it. It's nuts.
So he gets tagged a couple times. He hides behind a mailbox, takes one last drink of someone's like a nearby drink, and gets up. He goes, "All right, I surrender," and attacks the SWAT with a Glock.
He comes out with two guns that you have seen already are out of ammo. Yeah. So he's like doing like death by cop.
Yeah. So he runs out and they tag him and he's dead. And then
Affleck sees him, gets in a cop car and drives away, which I love.
Such a good scene. So Doug goes back. He gets his remaining money and then calls Claire. And Claire's apartment is bugged at this point. All the FBI is there because they're expecting him to come there. And there's something like an old quote where she goes, "Anytime my brother died on a sunny day, so anytime I see a sunny day, it actually makes me sad." So she tips him off in the phone call.
Yeah, she gives him the tip off.
She's like, "Come here," and he goes, "What if there's FBI there?" Because he can see in her
He's
apartment.
watching, and she doesn't know that, and she goes, "No, I'm here alone."
Yeah, so she lies, and then at the last second, she changes her mind and goes, "Oh no, you need to come see me. It'll just be like one of my sunny days."
She goes, "I really want you to come," and he's like,
So it's a tip off to not come because she's not alone.
Because you think she's like betrayed him until she doesn't, and then until she says that, and then you're like, "Oh, this is cool." Okay.
So, and I'll just say, here's how he can see her. When they're at Claire's apartment on a date night, and I guess this is the first time they hook up, he goes, they're kissing on the couch, and he goes, "I don't want to rush things, but can we go in the bedroom? My uncle's got a
he lives
place
across the way and can see right into this apartment.
See right in here." And I was just thinking, I'm like, "Oh, that's funny," and also I'm like, that's a good line.
Yeah,
that's a good line to get things to move a little quicker.
Yeah.
So my uncle was going to live across from any apartment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
into
this.
A creep move.
Yeah, of course. Let me ask you this, and I don't remember because we haven't actually done this episode yet. Is Rebecca Hall, is she also in The Prestige?
Yeah, she's the wife.
That's what I thought. I can't remember. So because
she's a very, very sad wife.
Because of the Prestige Illusionist, I know one of them has Jessica Biel and one of them has Rebecca Hall. Yeah, I couldn't remember which was which. But yeah, so that episode has already happened when you're hearing this, but I couldn't remember. I love Rebecca Hall. I think she's really great in everything. Big fan. Her and like Rachel Weisz, I need to see in more stuff. They're great.
What else do I have?
What else do you have?
I actually have a bunch of randomness.
I didn't have a lot of notes. Like, this was just a really enjoyable movie that I knew, like, I'm going to have a lot to talk about here because it's a great movie that I've seen and I really enjoy. And, yeah.
Here's a question I have. So the first heist, they're all wearing Skeletor masks. The second one, they're all wearing nun masks. Whose decision is it to pick the mask that week? Like,
the nuns was great.
No, so was
because you get that incredible image of the nun with the gun, and the little kid sees him in the car go by. Yeah, it's so badass.
Old woman, white face nun.
The evil nun.
So, but once again, like, how do you decide which mask you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking you, how do you decide?
How do I decide?
Yeah. I feel like I would end up with a banana mask, and you'd be like, "Hey, listen, dude, we can't. These are 3 foot tall."
Here's how I decide. Similarly to a future movie that we'll be talking about, where they discuss the masks that they wear, that I'm not going to mention because it's not next week.
Here's the problem I have with their masks, and they look really cool.
They do.
The nun has a hood to be grabbed, and the Skeletor has dreads to be grabbed. I don't think that's a smart choice for masks.
I think you're right.
They look really cool, but you'd want something. There's a plain, or I don't know what they're made of, like rubber mask that doesn't. Yeah. That's harder to grab.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
And also, I mean, shouldn't they have worn hockey masks in honor of
at some point
hockey days?
They do, but that's different.
That's something else.
So, all right, how many break points did you give this?
Let's go back.
I got 5 out of 10. How many did you get? Well, this is the point where I do math.
Yeah, I got 6 yeses for.
Wow. So that's something.
Do it. Say 55.
No, I did this wrong.
Say 55. If you have 50-50 and I got 60-40, it's 55.
It's 55. Yeah, I don't know why.
I did it. Chris finally exceeded your expectations of his math skills.
So the town is 55% Point Break. That's great. All right.
Yeah. Once again, it's just it's lesser than what.
It's right.
Only ranking a 60. I didn't really think this through when I said it's much like it. But then again, there's other characteristics which I think are very
well. Coming into the show today, I only had 4. You convinced me at one. You turned me. So that was nice.
I'll turn you any day, baby.
Nope.
Especially if my uncle lives across the
Let me ask. I'm not going back to my bedroom. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so we've got a question. Are you ready for a question?
I've been ready for a question. I've been born ready.
Don't you lie to me. How dare you?
I hope there's more than one.
There's only one, and there'll never be more than one. Ever.
All right, I'm going to close my eyes, and then you count to 3, and then on 3, I'll open them, and you give me the question.
All right.
All right, they're closed.
1.
Are you still there?
2. Wait, hang on. I'll start over. 1.
I feel like I'm going to hit with a shovel.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Are you ready for this?
Just do it. It's like a Band-Aid. Get it over with.
If you had to recast Point Break,
okay,
the very topic of this season,
okay,
with anybody from history, who is your Utah, Bodhi, and Pappas?
Oh, you got to do all 3?
I mean...
From history, or so just any time?
In history.
Doesn't have to be like...
They don't have to be actors. Okay. They can be anyone.
Okay. That's hard. It's hard because I don't like having too many ideas at once. You know what the first thing that comes to mind, though, is Back to the Future, like Doc and Marty. Like,
wait, what?
But who would be who? That's what I was wondering about. Like, I'm thinking about Keanu and Swayze. But
Doc, my name's Johnny Utah.
Yeah, like he's the football star, but he's like 5'2", and then Doc's the cool surfer who like is in a very I don't know.
He robs banks.
He practices yoga.
You know, Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, he does Tai Chi while he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
It's because he's got a busy schedule.
When you work at the Double Deuce, you gotta smoke your cigs.
Smoke when you were in there.
You gotta smoke your cigs while you're doing your Tai Chi.
Yeah, it's either you're a heavy smoker, which he didn't seem to be throughout the movie.
No, he was the guy that was like a health nut almost compared to everyone else in the movie. But it was still.
But it was probably a wacky tobacco cigarette.
No, it was a cigarette.
Well,
he said, "I'll never wacky tobacco."
But like at the end of Point Break, like once again going back to that hair thing, like just imagine Christopher Lloyd with his grown out hair. He's like, he throws his badge into the fucking ocean. I said Michael Jackson.
He's like
as Marty, dies in the waves. Like, yeah, that's good. That's gold.
My name is Johnny Utah. Is that good?
Yeah. Who would you pick?
Not them.
Oh.
Wait, who's Pappas? Is Biff?
Dog.
Is Biff Pappas?
Yeah, that wouldn't work at all. Marty, give me 2. Like, it'd be all intense.
Yeah.
Rat her up.
I really like that you picked that. That's great.
But in history, you think like longer, like
so
Abe.
I'm gonna pick
Abe in the stovetop and his assassin.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick John Wilkes Booth as Bodhi.
Abe's okay.
John Wilkes Booth is Bodhi.
Mary Ann, or no, what's his wife's name?
Mary Todd.
Mary Todd.
Well, she's Tyler, but we're not doing Tyler. Okay, so and then Lincoln obviously is Utah, but Pappas is Lyndon Johnson.
Okay, because he comes. Well, but he dies.
Lyndon Johnson?
Eventually.
I mean, everyone does.
I was gonna say like everyone in that movie is kind of.
Lyndon Johnson, because he's Pappas because he's always talking about his big dick.
I was gonna say, is this about a big dick thing?
Yeah.
Or that recording where he said his pants were too small because he had to really emphasize, he had to elongate the crotch for his big old.
Well, he said that, but he also said that he tends to. He said,
drop his dong in the toilet water?
He said, leave a bunch of fabric in there because I tend to go up a couple inches, up and down a couple inches in the waist. So he's like, I'm going to get fat and then thin again. Like, but like a couple of inches is a lot.
No matter what, that hog's the same size.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
The old Ben Hog.
Well, original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LBJ?
Yeah, because
he's the original Ben?
He's the original Ben.
Hog.
He hogged Ben.
Well, I'm happy with my answer though. Like I would say let's do more, but like I think I got it.
But Biff?
Yeah.
You think Biff as Pappas really nailed it? He's like, it's called sex wax. He's like, Utah.
There's that time that I saw Biff do stand up and he made fun of my tattoos.
I was with you.
That was super.
That was in 2008, and we went because
the most well-known bully of all time has made fun of me. I can die happy.
I really loved. He started his set with a song where he's like playing guitar,
the ping pong ball.
And, yes, and he just kept going up to the mic and then not saying anything. He would back away and he would just keep jamming out. And then like eventually he shot a ping pong ball out of his mouth. It was very surprising. I thought it was quite funny.
Good opening.
It was good.
It went on for like 3 or 4 minutes.
It went on for so long.
Well, we did it.
Tom Wilson. That's his name.
I got it.
Did you?
I wrote it down. I got it. It's in my pocket.
Oh. I'm going to have to verify that before we wrap this here bad boy up.
Okay.
I called it a bad boy. Do you like that?
Wink.
I know you typically don't like when I call it a bad boy. You hate it because you're afraid of bad boys. You only like good boys. Right? Right? Is that right? 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 Correct? Well, thanks for listening this week.
Something else.
We hope you enjoyed the town. We did, obviously. So keep an eye out for Monday's mini episode where we will announce next week's movie. Spoiler, I have never seen it.
Why?
You haven't either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the way things work sometimes. So tell your friends about us and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We are at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Check out Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale at dinosaurspodcast.com. And until next time, I am Zach, and he is...
Please.
We'll see you sometime, I guess, eventually. Whatever. Bye.
Kiss the mic.